It is Friday, June 26, 2026. Twin earthquakes devastate Venezuela. Iran permits nuclear inspectors to return. The World Cup concludes its group stage with 6 final matches. Here are the day's top stories. 1. Twin earthquakes measuring 7.2 and 7.5 magnitude struck northern Venezuela Wednesday evening, killing at least 235 people, with thousands feared dead in ongoing assessments. The earthquakes struck less than a minute apart near Morón on Venezuela's Caribbean coast around 6 p.m. local time. La Guaira, north of Caracas, was hit particularly hard, with more than 100 buildings collapsed and extensive infrastructure damage. Acting President Delcy Rodriguez declared a state of emergency as rescue teams raced through the night to find survivors beneath rubble. More than 4,300 people were injured, and over 40,000 reported missing as search efforts continued Friday. The U.S. Geological Survey estimates the death toll could reach as high as 100,000 based on damage assessments. International rescue teams from Chile, Spain, Mexico, Switzerland, and the United States deployed immediately to assist. Why it matters: Venezuela's economically fragile government struggles to coordinate disaster response. The earthquake represents a humanitarian catastrophe threatening regional stability. 2. Iran has agreed to allow International Atomic Energy Agency inspectors back into the country, according to statements by Vice President J.D. Vance after Switzerland talks concluded Friday. Vance declared significant progress in the high-stakes negotiations between Washington and Tehran. The agreement allows IAEA verification teams to resume inspections of nuclear facilities that were previously restricted. Iran will agree to major weapons inspections to ensure nuclear honesty, according to Trump's statement. A deconfliction mechanism was established for Israel, Lebanon, Hezbollah, and regional partners to communicate during heightened tensions and prevent miscalculation. The mechanism aims to prevent isolated clashes from escalating into broader regional conflict. The 60-day roadmap toward a comprehensive deal remains on track despite Lebanon's ceasefire violations. Why it matters: IAEA inspector access is critical for nuclear non-proliferation verification. Deconfliction mechanisms reduce escalation risks amid ongoing Israeli operations in Lebanon. 3. The World Cup concludes its group stage Friday with 6 simultaneous matches determining advancement to the round of 32 and final group seedings. France faces Norway at 3 p.m. Eastern Time in Boston in Group 1 play. Senegal plays Iraq at 3 p.m. Eastern Time in Toronto in the same group. In evening matches at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Uruguay battles Spain in Mexico City's Estadio Akron in Group H, and Cape Verde faces Saudi Arabia in Houston in Group H. Egypt meets Iran at 11 p.m. Eastern Time in Seattle in Group G. New Zealand plays Belgium at 11 p.m. Eastern Time in Vancouver in the same group. Multiple teams face elimination depending on today's results and goal differentials. The 32 advancing teams will form the round of 32 beginning June 28 with 16 knockout matches. Why it matters: group outcomes determine knockout bracket seeding and advancement paths. Tournament favorites Spain, France, and Egypt seek to advance from increasingly competitive groups. 4. The United States suffered its first World Cup defeat Friday when Turkey scored a late winner to upset the defending champions. Kaan Ayhan scored in stoppage time to give Turkey a dramatic victory over the Americans in Group D play. The loss complicates USA's path to group advancement heading into their final match. Turkey's upset victory demonstrates emerging competitive depth in the tournament. Why it matters: the defeat ends the USA's perfect group start and raises questions about their knockout readiness. As co-hosts, the Americans faced mounting pressure to advance from the group stage. 5. International sanctions on Venezuela have been temporarily eased to allow earthquake relief operations. The U.S. Treasury announced it will allow all transactions related to earthquake relief efforts through October 23. The temporary easing authorizes funds transfer for humanitarian operations in earthquake-devastated areas. Multiple countries pledged humanitarian aid, including search and rescue teams, medical supplies, and funding. Why it matters: sanctions relief enables rapid international humanitarian response. The scale of destruction requires coordinated global support beyond Venezuela's government capacity. Like and subscribe for fact-based news from official government sources only. Leave a comment. Tell us what stories you want to hear.